Hi, I'm Amanda, and you're watching The Reading and Writing Life. In 2021, I started keeping a more detailed reading journal than I ever have before, and I thought I would take a second to just walk you through it and show you what it looks like. Before we walk through and talk about the final iteration of what the journal looks like, I just want to walk you through or show you what it looked like at the beginning. So when I started in January, I was using just this journal that I had used starting in 2017 apparently. And I just used it to, I really just wanted to keep track of what I was reading and like how many pages I was reading every day. And so here's what this looks like. I started here writing what book it was and what book total, like what book of the month and what book, because I was going to keep up with how many I read during the month and how many I read total. And so it started out like this, and I would just randomly pick colors. They didn't mean anything. And then over here, like it was the first day of January all the way to the 31st day of January. And so like on the first day, I colored in how many of each thing I read. So I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that day, 119 pages. And then on January 2nd, I read 74 pages, and so on and so forth, all the way down through the month. And I really liked that. I just liked keeping up with it, but also I did not like this because I couldn't tell when I was finishing a book. Like I didn't know what day I was finishing, which at this point, I'm still not keeping up with that in my journal, but I am doing a much better job of tracking it on Goodreads. So anyway, I did the same thing. Well, I had to carry over because I read more books than I could fit on this page. And so I had to carry over to this page. But then I did the same thing where I printed off the picture of all of the books that I read, the covers, and put them on here. I got that idea about printing off the covers from Heather over at Soggy Expat Book Nerd. I will link her below, but she does the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge for the year, and she makes a big poster board, and then she has little cutouts like this of the book cover, and that's what she puts on her thing. And so anyway, I just felt like this, I love the visual part of this. And then down here, I created a key with all the different codes, which now I have the key in the front of my journal, and I don't need this, but I think the pages need something else. Like they're pretty plain, and I think they need something else. Anyway, I also would put the total number of books I read and the total pages that I read for the month. And so I did that for January, and I did the same thing for February, except I got smarter because I knew I would need more than one page. So I put the same thing, title, author, well, book number, title, author, and then my rating. And then over here, I just had an extra page for overflow, which I needed. And then this page could just be the pages that I read. And so I was able to make each box just equal 8 pages instead of back over here in January, each box had equaled 11 pages. So anyway, I still did the same thing. I wrote 28 days, and I kept up with each page, however many pages that I read for that day, which was not a big deal. It took no time really to just come out here and do it. Even on the weekends, it was not that big of a deal to just see where I was once a day and just check it. It's not that I did it at the end of every day. I just did it like every 24 hours. So when I was out here working, I would do it. And then the next day when I was working, I would do it. So it wasn't strictly that day I read this many pages. So anyway, and then I did the same thing for February with the pictures on here. And then in March, I got halfway through the month. I got halfway through the month of March, and I thought, I don't like this system. And so I literally wrote, next page for tracking is 3 pages over, because I started doing it the same way. I tried to pick different colors because I thought that would make it better. Like there was something I was unsatisfied about it, and I couldn't figure out what was going to make it better. So what I did was I changed it to this for the rest of March, and I tried to put a book. Every time I started a book, I would put it over here, and so I would leave this blank until this column right here would be blank until I finished, or if I didn't finish, there was an arrow saying that it was going to the next month. And then I did the same thing with the pages here and the rating out here, but now I had when I started and when I finished, because I thought that's what I thought was missing from it. And I realized that it wasn't. But I did the same thing. I have my page here with all the books that I read for March. And then I realized I wanted something to change. So for April, I changed a little bit, and you'll see that it's similar to what I'm doing now. And you can see also when I stopped worrying about the colors. I just started writing them down here before I transferred them. And this is when I started transferring over to the new book. So I didn't actually start that new book in January. I started it in April, and I just copied everything over to the new book. And so I started keeping up with a lot more, rating, genre, how I read it. Did I record? Because this is also when I was starting up the channel. And so did I record what I thought about the book? And then is it an old or new author? And did I put it on Goodreads? And once I realized that I could do more with my Goodreads account, this whole starting and stopping thing, I didn't need to keep up with, but I still really wanted to have the books in a journal. And so then I saw the review of the Scribbles That Matter journal. I saw somebody do a review of it, and I've never had one of those before. So I decided to try it, and it is fantastic. First of all, the pages are so durable and so nice, and it really helps. So we're gonna look at this really quickly. I'm not keeping up with the months, so there's nothing that says January, like I'm not tracking them in that way. I'll show you in a second how I'm doing that, but so I put some washi tape down here at the bottom. These pages just need something else, and I don't know what to do. But the first thing that I did was I made sure I have all of the genres at the front. Now these are not every genre, of course, and I do have room to add 2 more down here, but these are all the genres that I've read so far. And so these are the ones that I wanted to start with, since they're the ones that I know that I've already read. And I'm planning to keep these through the whole year. So these colors will be the same all year long. And then I'm doing the same thing over there, except I'm not keeping up with what I've read each month. It's just what I've read for the whole year. And each page will hold 31 lines. It'll hold more than that, but I wanted to give myself some space at the top and the bottom. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 30 or 31 books, depending on if I have an extra line, on each page, and then I'm putting that many books behind it. So the way it works is you have a list of books, and then you can look, the very next page has the cover for all those books. And then what I've done on the cover is the same thing that I did in the other book. I just put a drop shadow in whatever color that goes with their genre. Then I have a second page, and what I am doing as far as like breaking up the months is I'm just putting one line that says end of January, beginning of February, and total pages read for the month, and that goes up here. Because I have this whole column is how many pages are in each book that I'm reading. Then we have all 30 of these books, and then we go to the next page, which I'm still in the process of copying everything over into this book. And so this is my end of February, beginning of March, and the total number of pages, which I don't have up here yet, but I will. But so that puts me all the way to book number 62, and I'm actually somewhere around 120 books maybe for the year, not quite 120 yet. And so I got some more work to do, but that's what I'm planning on working on in a couple of days. So maybe I'll share on Instagram, once this video comes out, I'll share my final Scribbles That Matter pages, and let everybody get a glimpse at how weird I am sometimes. Oh, and the last thing that I wanted to show you is the very first page I've left blank, and I just put yearly stats up there, and I'm trying to decide everything that I'm going to chart on this page. I want to have it full of graphs, and I'm keeping up with the genres that I read. I'm keeping up with women authors and BIPOC authors, and I'm doing a couple of challenges. I'm doing an NPR challenge, which I explained in another video, and I'm doing Bookish Realm. Ashley at Bookish Realm shared the 100 books that she thinks that you should read before you die, and so I'm reading through that list, as many of them as I can get done this year. So I would kind of like to track that, like how many did I get through, and that kind of thing. And then of course I want to have a total of like books read and a total of pages read for the year. And so I just don't know what other stats I want to put. But so right now this just says yearly stats, and I have in pencil written in some ideas of things that I want to track for the year. So if there's anything that you guys track or anything that you think I should be tracking, not should, but want to be tracking, because I want to track all the things. So if there's anything, I would love to hear about it in the comments section. And that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you have a reading journal or if there's some other way that you keep up with the books that you read. Do you just use Goodreads? Do you use nothing? Maybe you use your bookshelf and you're like, these are the books that I've already read and these are the books that I need to read. That's how I used to do. I used to bring home library books, and we had a unread library book section, and then we had a table that was for books that were finished and ready to go back to the library, and that was it. That was my whole system of keeping up with what I read. And so let me know what you guys do, what you've done in the past, and what you maybe want to do moving forward. As always, I would love to do a buddy read. If anybody's interested, comment down below and we will set something up. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss any videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.